Hannah, in Montana, where I live, we generally don't feel very favorable toward her.
I like Hannah Montana. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I think it's kind of funny. Like, I will watch that show, like, you know, you're flipping through the channels, you're like, oh, and then I stay. English soccer, deadliest catch, and Hannah Montana. And I'm just like, what will she do next?
When you have a brother, you just have to accept them perfectly.
That's true, yeah, you have to love me for me. Who all's going on the Nerdfighter tour, Hank? Is it like the Yeti going, Catherine?
Well, according to the official statement that has been adopted by many of the people making flyers for the Nerdfighter tour, is hopefully the Yeti.
Yes.
So hopefully the Yeti, hopefully Catherine and occasionally the Yeti.
Yes. Hank, me, hopefully Catherine, occasionally the Yeti. Very occasionally. She has this job, man. It's killing her. Matt asks, what is your favorite video on YouTube? I've got one. You go first.
Osseo Deathly Hallows.
What is your favorite video of yours? That you just filled that out. I like the Matt videos where he dances around the world with kids from around the world. And of course, I love the videos of all of our secret siblings who are here. If I can just briefly say that everybody in the nerd-fighting community makes the videos possible and makes all the work possible. It's collaborative in a way that work usually isn't. Like, it wouldn't work if you didn't post comments, if there wasn't a conversation. I can say, I think we should read Catcher in the Rye, and if no one reads Catcher in the Rye, it doesn't mean anything. So, or no one talks intelligently about Catcher in the Rye, and it is such a thrill for us to have this, to have all these really super smart, super made of awesome people. But I want to particularly say hi to our secret sisters, Kaylee, Lauren, Rosie. I'm very grateful that they had a chance to come out here. Hank, what does this card say? What's it say? You get confronted by people who don't enjoy your books. Like, more often than you'd think. I told the story in the video blog, but I'll tell it again really briefly. A woman came up to me at this library conference and she said, I loved the first half of Looking for Alaska. It was brilliant, and then it really fell apart. And I was like, well, I loved the first half of your comment. And it fell apart for me. I thought the second half was really lame and stupid. Deanna asks, who was nerdier as a kid, you or Hank? I gotta go with you.
Accept that.
Yeah, I mean, like, Hank was really into, like, Magic the Gathering, which I wasn't into. Although we both obsessively played the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role-playing game. So, I mean, that puts us right at the top.
I kept going with role-playing games. That's true, I think.
To me, the TMNT game was the apex of the genre.
John is not a very good dungeon master, I will say that.
Oh my god! I was a brilliant dungeon master.
I was doing really well, and it was like, oh, you rolled a 6, you die.
No, if you rolled anything other than a 2, you die. You didn't roll 2. It's not my fault. Sydney and Ron, you think, ask, what is your favorite element of the periodic table? Awesome, probably. Atomic letter A. What is atomic letter A? I feel like it might be arsenic. Okay. Fail. Justina asks, what do you think is more important in a book, the story and moral, or how it's written, style, and quality? I kind of think that they're inseparable. Like, I don't think that a story that's well written, that is not about anything, is very good. And vice versa. I think the stories can be about very small things and still be very good. For instance, James Joyce's Ulysses is a very, very long book that's about one day in 1904 in Dublin, and it's done pretty well. But you don't necessarily, I don't think that it's possible to imagine those things separately, necessarily. There's a chapter in Paper Towns where you switch to the present tense. Spoiler alert, just kidding, it doesn't, I mean, does that spoil anything for anybody? Why does it go, was this an artistic choice? Yes, I didn't do it by accident. Why does it go back to past tense? Sometimes when you're telling a story, you switch it to the present tense because you feel a sense of immediacy, a sense that the story is happening to you now. Like, you're not able to say, like, so for instance, instead of saying, like, we went to the park, you'll be like, and then we were at the park, and he is dumping me. Instead of being like, we were at the park and he dumped me. So that's why I switched into present tense, because that particular moment in the novel is the sort of pivotal moment where everything changes in the mind of Quentin, and he starts to see the story as something that's happening now, not as something that happened to him, and so forth.